Let's talk about money. You work hard at a business you believe in. You should expect to be highly profitable. You want to believe this is going to happen, but part of you may wonder why it hasn't happened yet, or what do you have to do differently to get there? But what if there is a leak in your system that is affecting your cash flow? Today, we're talking about what some of those leaks are, and specifically how fixing your systems for focus will solve for those leaks and directly increase your income. And spoiler alert, this isn't about working harder or more hours. This is episode 4 of the Focus series, More Focused, More Done, More Money, the direct connection. Welcome to Slay ADHD, where we help entrepreneurs recognize the ADHD struggles that are slowing their growth and may be costing them time, money, and missed opportunities. We'll be teaching you the tools to work around these difficulties while helping you to develop the skills to make real progress and finally build a business you've been dreaming of. Last week when we played our new Trivial Pursuit game from the 90s, there was a question that came up about a quote from Jerry Maguire. And I was trying to guess the quote. I can't tell you the exact question. But of course, the quote that comes to mind is, "Show me the money." Of course, that's the most quoted thing from Jerry Maguire, other than, you had me at hello. But show me the money. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about revenue. I've met and worked with all kinds of business owners. Some feel really passionate about what they do, and they would do it for free because they love it and they believe in the benefit that they're providing to others. Some of them want to serve others, but they know that they need to make money in order to stay in business so they can keep doing the thing that they're passionate about. And some want to take the thing that they're really good at and serve a lot of people and make a lot of money. There's nothing wrong with any of those. Whatever your view of money is, you know that it takes money to do all of the good things that you want to do in your life and your business. Even if you're running a charity, it takes money to keep the thing going so that you can keep doing the good that you do. Myron Golden is an entrepreneur and business coach that teaches people how to make a lot of money. And he also taught that instead of loving money and using people, we should use money and love people, or better yet, use money to love people. In your business, you can serve your customers and love them and make money at the same time. And the more people you serve, the more money you can make. Making money and loving and serving your customers is the most ideal situation for any business owner. But whether you're trying to make enough money to keep a charity going, or you're trying to scale for growth and really make a lot of money, you'll need to address the things in your business that are slowing you down and maybe costing you. You may be thinking right now, I'm already rushing through every day. I'm doing as much as I can, and I just don't have more to give. If this is you, I have good news for you. Making more money isn't about hustle. It's not about working harder or longer hours. It's about eliminating the leaks that are draining your time, your energy, and your income right now. Let's talk about that time money leak. Let's talk about how the machine of running a business actually works. It's really pretty simple. You have a product or a service that you provide to people. You need to attract the right people to your product or your service through some form of marketing, even if it's just through word of mouth. Now, once you get a customer, you have to make sure that you're giving them whatever it is that you've promised to them, so they will either stay a customer or they'll tell their friends about what a great job you've done. You have to have a method for collecting payments. And then there are administrative duties that come with running a business, like making sure all of the bills are paid, your taxes are filed, and whatever vendors you need to hire are paid, and you're following up with them and making sure that they're doing the things that you need them to do. You also might have a creative team for new product or service development. If any of these parts of running a business has a leak, as in you're not running efficiently or you aren't sure what to do, so you're either not working that area or you're working too hard without the right attention to what really matters, you will be losing money. Let's walk through the most common ways ADHD entrepreneurs lose money without realizing it. The first one is for businesses that provide a service and then need invoices sent out to the customers afterwards. If this is you, you may have noticed this one universal truth. The longer you take between finishing a job or supplying a service, and sending out the invoice to the customer, the lower your chances are for collecting on this bill. It sucks. It's not fair, but it is the truth. If you want a high collection rate for the services you provide, invoicing has to go out as soon as you can and on a regular basis. The second truth is that there are just some people who may need a reminder that they owe you money. Maybe they didn't get the bill that you sent to them in the mail. Maybe they didn't see the email you sent to them. Or maybe they just got busy and lost track of the fact that they owed you. I once had a fabulous yard maintenance company that worked for me, but the invoicing they sent was inconsistent. Actually, I'm not really sure how they were sending invoices because I wasn't getting them. It may have been through email, and my personal email currently has 12,000 unopened emails. I get hundreds of emails a day, and most of them are junk, so I only look at the emails from people that I'm expecting something from, or I just go back and search by their name to find something if I need it. Eventually, this yard company put me in collections, and then I immediately apologized and paid them, but by then they had dropped me from their service. So just so you know, I have a credit score in the 800s. I'm really good at paying my bills, but this company just wasn't on my radar, and they weren't good with following up with me. Don't let this happen to you. And don't feel bad if you have to send out reminder invoices. Don't assume that the customer is not happy with you. They could have any number of reasons for paying you late or for forgetting to pay you. From what I've found, there are a couple of things that keep companies from invoicing frequently or routinely. One of the biggest things keeping a business owner from asking for money is fear. We're afraid of looking greedy. We might be afraid of being told that the service wasn't good enough. We might be afraid that the person might not want to come back as a customer because we confronted them with asking them for money. These are all real fears, but they shouldn't be allowed to keep you from being paid for the work that you have done. When I worked with psychotherapists, this was a problem with a lot of them. They became therapists because they wanted to help people. But having to ask for money after they just spent an hour discussing really deep things was hard for some of them. Not all, but it was for some. Sometimes you may not value your service enough to ask for what it's worth. You want to keep within what the market will allow for, but you also need to recognize your value and how what you provide is unique and might be worth a little more to the customer who really needs it. One of my therapists said her practice was a boutique practice, and she could charge more than the standard going rate. Then she made it a quality experience for her clients and made sure she charged what she felt it was worth. If you find that you're undercharging on the thing that you offer, it might help you to recognize that this can come from a scarcity mindset. This goes back to that fear that we talked about a minute ago. That fear may keep you from making good decisions. It might be possible that you don't realize just how valuable what you have to offer is to your potential customers. Learning your worth is something that can be developed, especially with the help of a good coach. But in the meantime, if you're struggling to ask for money at all, you can learn to ask to be paid for the work that you have provided, even if it's a little less than what you want to be in the future. If you're undervaluing your services or goods, experiment with little price increases, even if they're just to your newer customers. If you remember this one thing, you will be successful at being paid what you're worth. This is the one thing I want you to remember. Write it down. Always ask for what you're worth, and then always give just a little bit more than expected. I'm going to say that again. Always ask for what it is that you're worth or your offer is worth. And always provide to your customers a little bit more than what they expected. I recognize that this is a paradox, but if you remember just this one thing, it will really help you to stay successful. Another issue that keeps us from making the money we should be comes from not having a good process for invoicing. We need to be paid for the work that we have done, but if left up to just remembering to do it, it's way too easy to forget. You need to have a system for sending invoices, and it needs to be important enough to be set up as a priority. If you're a solopreneur and you're doing everything all by yourself, it's really easy to get caught up in putting all of your effort into pleasing your customers and attracting new customers. That's the fun and creative and sometimes a little scary and exhilarating part of the business that we love and keeps us energized. Doing paperwork, keeping track of how much people owe you and figuring out how to most efficiently send out the bill, that's not fun or creative, and it doesn't really fit into any of the ADHD motivators, but it is really essential in order to keep the business alive. It's kind of like drinking water when you don't feel thirsty. They say that by the time you feel thirsty, you're already getting dehydrated. You don't want to dehydrate your company finances because of missed invoicing. Don't wait until you notice a lack of funds to think about how you're going to get them. If you want to stay alive, water is essential. If you want to keep the business going, you have to keep the cash flow coming also. Aside from just the process of getting paid, we also have to make sure that we're completing the jobs that we were paid for. We need to provide excellent service so that we can get referrals and repeat business, and we need to nurture the leads that we do get before they go cold. If we let certain executive function issues get in the way, some projects can take 3 times longer than they should. This may be because you're trying to make sure it's perfect. I know you care about what you do, and you should, and you want to provide a quality product or service, and you absolutely should. But perfectionism can be the true thief of efficiency. Doing the best you can is always a good goal, but the quest for perfection is not something that you achieve in every project. It's something you spend a lifetime developing. Each project doesn't have to be perfect, especially if your quest for perfectionism causes the thing to be turned in late or to take so much time that you sacrifice another potential customer because of it. If you want to make more money and get more done and get better over time, let go of the perfect project and just do more projects that are just good. You will get better faster by doing good enough work while striving for excellence than if you stick to the need for perfection. Just get it done, learn from anything that comes back to you, and then get back out there and do it again. Next, let's talk about leads. Those potential new customers that are starting to show interest but need your follow-through in order to make the decision to become a real customer. In this case, time is of the essence. If you tell yourself, I'll call them back when I have a free minute, there's a pretty good chance that you'll forget to call them back quickly, and by the time you do, you may have noticed that they've moved on to buying from your competitor, or maybe they've talked themselves out of needing whatever it is that you have to offer anyways. Don't let your leads fall through these cracks. It's totally normal for you not to be able to just jump and call or email back potential leads the minute that you find out about them, but you do need to have some type of system for managing them. This is also something we'll be working on in the Focus program. But even if you decide to figure this out on your own, make sure you address this by setting aside a specific time to contact all of your leads, or create an automated funnel to get back to them, or even hire an assistant to set up appointments for you. If you have a storefront, this may not be a big problem as long as your salespeople have been trained to really take good care of your customers. The last way we can lose money when executive functions are out of control is when your great ideas never get executed. Okay, so not every idea needs to be completely fleshed out, but they certainly do deserve a chance for you to properly review the efficacy of them and decide if they're worth your time. If you feel like you're so busy running around like a chicken with your head cut off, you won't be able to take the time to thoughtfully consider the benefits and costs of any new business idea that you may come up with. The last thing you want is to miss out on a great opportunity. But the second to last thing you want is to chase an idea that hasn't been thought through completely and is just a time waster. Unfortunately, we tend to do that a little too often also, chasing the shiny new idea when the business model you're currently working on has not been given the full time and attention that it needs. Each one of these problems has a dollar value attached to it. If you've been doing any of these things, trust me, you're not alone. I'm sure that I've done each of these at some point in time, and I'll bet most entrepreneurs have also. But recognizing the problem is the first step to getting over that hurdle. But the next step is not to work harder or to increase the hustle. The next step is to redirect your existing hours in the right directions so that you're working on the right things. Now, what gets better when your focus gets better? Your delivery improves when you have systems that track what needs to happen and when. You take better care of your customers. You deliver better products and services. And the things that you need to do get accomplished faster without you rushing and running at full speed, treating every workday like it's a race. Instead, you just show up, you do what needs to be done calmly and confidently, and then guess what? Your clients notice. They recognize your expertise, and that's when referrals start to come in. In addition, your invoicing and follow-ups with payments will improve. When these are systematized, your stress doesn't take over. Worry doesn't prevent progress, and your revenue comes in consistently instead of in unpredictable bursts. When it comes to your client relationships, having systems for focus means that communication will improve and they can count on you when they have questions or if they need something. While you may not be able to provide everything that your customer desires, they know that you're reliable and you get back to them in a timely manner, and as a result, retention improves. They stick around, they trust you, and are more likely to stay a loyal customer. And in addition, your reputation grows, and those loyal customers refer their friends to you. And finally, you'll see your goals through to completion. The action you take will move you consistently toward your big goals. Your business will grow when you're making regular steps towards what you really want. Not in one big exhausting sprint, but steady and consistent. This is what sustainable income looks like for an ADHD entrepreneur. Now let's look at the big picture. That is loving your business again. This isn't just about reaching productivity metrics. It's about getting back to why you started this business in the first place. Chances are that when you started your business, you were really excited about it. I'm sure you had big dreams and goals, and you couldn't wait to see them through to completion. You probably even loved going to work every day as you were building this thing to match what your dreams were. You can get back to that again. When work flows instead of stalling due to not knowing what to do next, you get more done. When your systems hold, you don't have to worry about starting over or dropping the ball anywhere or anymore. And when you're delivering well and your customers are happy and you're getting paid consistently, that joy comes back. You remember what you loved about this work and why you want to keep doing it, and that makes you better at it. Imagine a business where you show up every day with confidence, knowing that you have something to offer that your customers really need and they want, and you know you can deliver on what you have promised to them. And that helps you in the process of selling the thing to the people who need it the most. And you know all of the moving parts of the business are taken care of, so the stress and the overwhelm, they're a thing of the past. You love going to work, you love what you do, and you have so much to look forward to in the future. This is what it looks like to have a business that fuels you instead of draining you. Now to recap what we've talked about today. Focus that is intentionally structured and revenue in your business are directly connected. Having systems to help keep your business focus where it needs to be, rather than counting on a distractible brain to just remember all of the moving parts that need attention, will not only make working easier, but it will ensure a healthier bank account with more consistent income. When you put in the work to fix the systems, you might just be amazed at how this also fixes the flow of income. As a bonus for the next couple of weeks, I've opened the Focus Beta program for entrepreneurs who are ready to claim this type of focus, so you can see how your business income can grow in a steady fashion. It's going to be a small group, and I'm offering this at a founding member pricing, which will be just a fraction of the cost it'll be once the testing is completed. In addition, I'll be reviewing the applications and offering the full program with my full attention to one business owner for free. Yes, you heard that right. One spot will be completely free. Could this free spot be yours? The only way to know is to fill out the application on my website, lauraannlang.com. If you're tired of feeling like you're working all the time and not seeing the progress you want, take advantage of this opportunity to get in on the ground floor of this revolutionary program. Go to lauraannlang.com and fill out the application and schedule a short call with me, and we'll discuss how you can start making work easier, more enjoyable, and more profitable. If you've enjoyed what you've heard today and you found any of this to be helpful, please share this episode with friends that you think can relate to these issues, and be sure to follow so you don't miss an episode. And if you're ready to find out more about the Focus program, head over to the website, lauraannlang.com, and if you have any questions, you can always contact me at lauraannlang.com. Until next time, I wish you an enjoyable, purpose-filled week.